What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this special postseason edition of Live with the Coach. I'm Eric Columbia. The Orange Empire feeling really good about themselves after coming away with a 60-56 win in the first four in Dayton, Ohio. A game that was tight all the way through, seesawing back and forth between Arizona State and Syracuse. Let's show you how it all went down from Dayton, Ohio. Frank Howard, a question mark, going to be taking on TCU, and Syracuse is at the podium right now talking about this big win.
There's some huge shots. He's done that countless times this year.
And there you have it, the Hall of Famer Jim Boeheim, proud of his guys after tonight's 60-56 win in the first four matchup in Dayton, Ohio against Arizona State, and he should be. Not much expected of this team, especially midway through the year. Not many people knowing how good Syracuse was going to be. Now they get to the actual part of the dance, going to be taking on TCU, Friday night. And then you win a game here. Maybe you take on Michigan State. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's another Middle Tennessee-esque team to knock off Tom Izzo and company, and then you never know what can happen from there. But the fans were hot and heavy in downtown Syracuse tonight. You can tell because they're even fogging up our lens. Caitlin is out there amongst the people, and what's the atmosphere like? And Caitlin, what are your thoughts on the 2-3 zone? Was it working off to perfection tonight? I'm just kidding. I know not to ask you a basketball question. I know you're deadly afraid of that. That's just me pulling a rib on you guys. Thanks, Caitlin. We'll see you back here in the studio.
Thanks, Eric.
For someone who actually wants to break down the action, Mark Larson. He was there watching it in person. He just got done speaking with the guys. So let's take you out to our fearless leader, Mark Larson, in Dayton, Ohio. All right, we're going to have to get back to him at another time. He's going to have a full report from Dayton, Ohio. Big win, 60-56. We're going to Mark? All right, so we're going to Mark. A little pump fake there. Mark Larson saw the action live in Dayton, Ohio. A big win. Mark, how did the guys get this done? Because it seemed like with about 7 minutes left, momentum clearly on the side of Arizona State, but then somehow SU, like they have in tournaments the past few times, is able to gut some wins out.
Well, first of all, Eric, I bit hard on that pump fake, so that was a good fake on your part. Yeah, it almost seems like.
How is the team health-wise, not only just with O'Shea Brissett, but Pascal Chukwu, you had Dolezaj take a nasty bump there late in the second half. How are these guys health-wise?
I think, as you said, a win heals a lot of bumps and bruises, makes you feel better.
All right, Mark, we would be remiss if we didn't ask you a food question before you go. You're a big connoisseur of all the local eateries when you're out on the road. So what was the best thing food-wise from Dayton? Were you able to get out and enjoy?
We did get out, and we had some decent food. I'm not going to say it knocked my socks off, but, we had some decent stuff. I am looking forward to hitting some Culvers on the way up to Detroit, and I'm sure you can fill me in, Mr. Michigan, on all the great eateries in the Detroit metro area. So we're looking forward to sampling a little more road food, and hopefully I'll have a better report from Detroit than Dayton. Now, I will say the arena's great, the people here are great. I don't want to bash Dayton. But maybe my standards are just a little bit too high. Maybe that's it.
Orange Empire, presented by NYCM Insurance.
All right, let's take you out to Detroit. The Orange, after a big win, speaking with the media. Let's listen live.
But it was our defense. Our defense was
in his limited time, 13 of that coming in the first half. And you heard Jim Boeheim say he's what really kept SU in this ball game. If we can bring up his stat line. 17 points in this ball game, 8 of 13 from the floor, 1 of 1 from downtown. That's only his second 3 this season and his second highest scoring output this year. If you remember correctly, at the end of the regular season, a big win against Clemson, Jim Boeheim said they don't have anybody else that can score. Marek Dolezaj can't score. He has answered the call. A big game in a big win against Wake Forest in the ACC tournament, and a big game here, 17 points, as SU is staying in Detroit, and so is our Mark Larson. Mark was there watching it all. He's been taking it in the last few days, has moved on from Dayton, now to the Motor City, And now on your television screen, Mark, it's another crazy one. Not high-scoring affairs, but when you get to this point in the season, defense is going to win you some games down the stretch. So SU now moving on to Michigan State on Sunday. They, of course, played the game before Syracuse. I want to know if you're able to see any of that game, and if you did, what did you think? And does Syracuse have a serious shot on Sunday? Not just against a number 1 seed, but the number 1 seed in the entire tournament. Truly unbelievable. We're going to get you out of here real soon, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about the SU women. They're down in Starkville, otherwise known as Stark Vegas. Now a date with Oklahoma State on the line later on this afternoon. I was going to say tomorrow, but that is no longer the case. Our own Kate Calloway is there, and she has more.
6 wins. Reporting from Humphrey Coliseum in Starkville, Mississippi, Kate Calloway, Spectrum News.
Thanks a lot, KC. That game tomorrow, 3:30 in the afternoon. You can catch it over on ESPN2. And we just got the time for Sunday's game for the Syracuse men. They're going to take on Michigan State Sunday, 2:40. I'm assuming that game will be on CBS, but we'll let you know tomorrow when I do know for sure. That's going to do it for this special postseason edition of Live with the Coach. I'm Eric Columbia. Believe it or not, we're not done with our coverage. We'll have a little bit more coming up in the wee hours of St. Paddy's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. See ya.
Orange Empire, presented by NYCM Insurance.